Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good day in the market. It's December 16th, Tuesday. We're going to review 0 day options I took on SPY and the small count challenge I'm working on. Let's see. Gap down today. We ended up testing 20 day pretty early on and just kind of pretty big range today. Seems like volume increased. Just being around 20 day will do that. Kind of a tricky day, really. Like there's structure and yeah. This is Eric's 30-minute chart. He's 5 day trading on YouTube. So yeah, definitely found support on 20 day and then made an inverse head and kind of grabbed it here as a shoulder and broke out of this orange channel to come up and retest that blue. But all this was very grindy. This was, yeah, it was pretty tricky today, really, for how big the range was and how good it looks. It was mostly retracement type trades, zombie trades, which um I don't know. I guess I could have done better. I actually ran out of buying power. Ivy was pumped up quite a bit with for whatever reason. I guess because we had a bit of a gap down. So I ran out of buying power on the small account too early on, unfortunately. And the early on stuff was pretty ugly this morning, quite grindy. Um, yeah, I mean you have nice trades in hindsight, but it was a little tricky. Here's a nice entry right here. I had it down there. Then you have this just wedging and yeah, a lot of wedging today. And then this selling in this very, very mellow purple channel here. Which yeah, you can just kind of trade the range, but yeah, there was trades. I ran a buying power. That was the biggest problem. Traded on the big account and I was pretty red at one point because the range is pretty good. Let's see. Overall I guess it's 6 points. Nothing crazy. But it kind of bounced back and forth quite a bit. But I did make it back to just about break even. Missed this trade end of day. I was just too much stuff going on, just chaotic, and I couldn't focus. Um, very kind of trappy today, honestly. Anyways, let's get into it. My lines like maybe didn't line up perfectly, and so it kept kind of breaking through them. Then it looked like it was retesting, and then it wouldn't. It would just go up, and then it would break, and it wouldn't sell on anything aggressive. It would just sell on like this gold or, which was quite annoying. Um, the only time I really had good continuation was in the last, what, like hour right here. Once it finally broke this last purple, retested, came up, built some liquidity. Yeah, this was pretty much the only real continuation we had. Other than that, it was mostly just zombie trades, um, which are sketch. Let's see. I also took a trade actually on the small margin account. I did some put credit spreads today. Um, I don't like Weeble's execution. They're definitely skimming a large amount. But what's crazy is their chart. Weeble's chart is noticeably ahead of all the other charts. Like these candles, um, they appear quicker than Thinkorswim, quicker than TradingView, quicker than any other platform I've used. So that's a big reason why actually I use Weeble still. I mean, I like the platform overall. It's has a lot of features and it's user friendly for the most part, but execution is not great. It's a payment for order flow platform, so a lot of skimming, a lot of shady stuff going on there with the Chinese brokerage. Um, so yeah, they're making money on you for sure, and free commissions usually are with brokerages. I don't know any brokerages that aren't making. You're not paying more for to have free commissions in the end, just with the slippage and bad fills. Um, but that's yeah, not what today's video is about. Do I see here? Why does it say I have a position? What in the world? Forgot to close that position. Oh, that thing probably went sick too. Oh no, I gotta check this really quick. I'll check at the end of the video. Little Easter egg. Not an Easter egg, a bonus. Dang. I totally forgot I opened that. So I quit trading my small account because I ran out of buying power. Ugh. Anyways, 950 was my first put. I had purple here. That was kind of the first one I drew in. Green I drew in later. Red here. Okay, so then gold. Yeah, I had gold in there too. So the reason for this was basically resistance. So first trade out was starting with an attempt at a retracement or a zombie trade, but it actually broke the gold. So I got it like here and then just ripped through it. So kind of an ugly first trade, 90 cents to 80 cents within 18 seconds right here. And then I got green pretty soon. Pretty soon after that. Purple's way later. And green was a pretty serious tapering, so that's bearish. This green controlled buying. Next trade was at 10:03, 10:05. Another red trade. So put. Yeah, so broke the green. I didn't have. Yeah, actually, I kind of front ran this breaking of this purple. I was waiting for it to break the purple. Kind of front ran it because it was already selling this more aggressive white. And so I was like, I'll just use white for my stop. And I actually wanted to get it up here, and I really considered it, but thought it's maybe better I just wait, because this is going against me on puts, right? So like, I'll wait, and yeah, I decided to wait for it to break the green here. But I guess you could say it's down here, or even down there. Anyways, that's not an entry I'd typically do, but trying to learn, trying to grow. So I got in, what did I say? 10:03. I got in here. So maybe I did actually wait for it to break the purple. Yeah, I got in here, broke the purple, and then we had a bounce. I got out 10:05, 87 cents to 78 cents. Yeah, pretty nasty bounce. Broke back up in purple and I closed it. Came back up. And do we have gold at that point? No, I didn't have this gold, I don't think. Came back up, made another head, and then grabbed this shoulder where it's trekked down. Did I catch any part of that? I can't remember. 10:07. Yes. 10:07 was my entry. What? Wait a minute, was that my entry? No, 10:05 was my entry. Wait, 10:03. What's going on here? Oh, no, okay, sorry. That was very confusing. 10:03, I'm not usually scaling in. So 10:03 was a buy, 10:05 was a buy. So I got more of them. I got one here and I got another one here. I guess on the retest. Yeah, that's why that was kind of ugly. So 87 cents, then 78 cents were my two entries. Sold the first one for, oh yeah, I remember that now. Sold the first one for 82. So I was trying to get it on the retest, and then I was like, this is pretty ugly. Thinking that it broke back above green, because I think I got it somewhere around here. So I actually closed one of them for a little profit. So it's 87 cents, 78 cents entry, closed one for 82. And so, yeah, because I averaged down on it, and then I just closed for a little profit, and then the second one closed for a loss at 10:07 at 63 cents. Yeah, on this candle. Yeah, they're just grinding up in this purple. I'm like, I don't want that. So that was a red trade, but I actually made it a little bit better by averaging in on a nice entry and then closing it pretty quick. Just plain one candle. I wasn't, of course, I was trying to average in on a bigger move, but it ended up stopping me out. So, and the first close was just kind of reduced risk. It just so happened to work out that it was a better price when I sold it or bought it. 10:24. I gotta put. Yeah. So kind of missed all of this up here, which is fine. It was a bit of a chop, like pretty grindy. I had green at that point. I don't know if I was super confident in it. Yeah, you can tell I wasn't. Why did I wait so long? I think maybe the 30-minute chart. Why was I waiting? That 20-day was there maybe? I'm not sure why I didn't get in sooner, like right here on that retrace. It's easy to see in hindsight, like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't think I had this orange selling yet. But yeah, it's like, okay, broke your green and retested green and it's selling this orange. This is very easy. I don't think I had this charted quite like this when it was happening. If so, I'm not sure what. Maybe I'm not sure why I didn't get it sooner. At any rate, I missed it, and I'm like, well, I'll just jump in here because it's in the selling, which isn't the best thing to do. I know Eric definitely discourages it, but I feel like if I have my risks are defined and I'm opening it quite close to my stop, it's fine. That was $1.16 at 1024. Somewhere on this candle. I think it's probably pretty close to that resistance because that was my stop. Purple wasn't in there at that point. And then I closed it at 1025. Okay, I remember this trade. This was actually a nice little trade. So I closed it right about here at 20-day. I didn't catch the bottom of this candle. I was looking for a 20-day test. But yeah, of course, clipping the bottom of this selling channel would have been ideal. But as you can imagine, since it was kind of a chase in a channel, I was happy just to take it for the 20-day test that I was looking for. So that was $1.16 to $1.37. So pretty good trade. You know, that was what, 20 something cents. My stops were both about 10 cents. So 20 something is not bad. Next trade was at 1033. Stopped out in the same minute. The call. Potentially a call on this break of this one, but I didn't get that one. I got it at 1033. This down here at that point. I think I was getting it because it broke back up into gold, but realistically it actually didn't. It was just rejecting it. Yeah, and yeah, this was okay. That's what I remember. So it broke back up into gold. So I'm trying to get a retracement. The problem is I was just way late on it. I need to get in down here. It closed above this gold, which again is similar trade to actually what I was doing back here, which failed on me. But yeah, and then this was gonna be my stop, and it basically opened it and it came down here and I stopped. So quick little one. These sting though. When these add up, it's just not good. This was 9 cents, so the range was like, these candles are actually pretty large. The overall range was pretty small, but you know, it's only a couple candles through the whole range, and yeah, that's probably why the IV was up. Next trade was at 1105 to 1106. It was a put. I didn't have this blue yet. I remember putting this blue in. I'm like, I think this is good. I really considered opening one up here because this gold. All these wicks. We've got VWAP. I was like, this is a nice resistance. This gold would be my stop. But at that point, I was like 2 red trade. I had 1 green trade out of like 4 trades. So I was like, I should just wait for this to break since it's been very grindy so far. But yeah, I could have in hindsight, of course. But if I had opened it here, potentially would have gotten stopped through here. I'm not sure. But anyways, that one was at 1105. All right. Yeah, so I did end up getting it. I think I got it because the orange, I was like, all right, I'll just get it and use the orange as my stop. That was the problem. Since I didn't get it at my stop here, then it comes like kind of basically in the middle of this smaller wedge, and that's where I'm ending up opening it, which is fine if I'm fine to manage it all the way up to this gold where I wasn't. And I said, I'll just close it if it breaks this. Because at that point we had this big volume candle. It is green, but and then we also had this for my risks, and it broke it, so I just closed it. So that was 63 cents to 52 cents. Yeah, another just 10-cent loss, which no good. So you can kind of see where it was like, my idea was right. I was late on this one, late on this one, late or early, however you want to look at it. Yeah, so here I was late or I was early, because this was the trade from right here. This one I was late from here, or I was early for there. So, and that's something Eric teaches too. You're never late. You're just early for the next one. If you're late, that means you're early for the next one. So that's where you usually get caught in the middle of a wedge. It's interesting to think about that now with seeing these trades or in these trades. Because yeah, it could have been just, if you're on it, then you're on it real quick, like here and here. And if you're not, you have to be patient and wait. I'm usually doing the patience one, I feel like, on a retest. Sometimes I'll get it on a break if I'm on it a little sharper, I guess. 63.52. All right, and then, but not to say you can't get back in and love exposure, but all that trading, you know, each time you get in and out, it's exhausting your stamina, and you're burning your fuel. I was actually like, I was tired today from just trading. I was just like, I like noon, I just wanted to take a break. I was like, I'm just like fatigued, I need to leave. But the price action kind of kept giving kind of false signals like we're about to make a move. So anyways, 1108 and then 1109 I got puts. So I actually scaled into this one. Oh, and it worked. That's interesting. Oh, I forgot I actually caught this one. That's sick. So I guess I think I just had put blue in there. So I wasn't super confident with it. It had 3 supports here. Didn't quite catch the resistances there. If you put this here, like, all right, that makes sense. And I hadn't had a more aggressive bearish controlled buying like this, and I was kind of looking for it, I guess. I had the green one, but that's way down here, so to have a higher up one is definitely nicer, because then you can catch this whole move till it hits green, and then if it continues, then you can add to it or whatever. But if you're just waiting for the green break, of course it didn't even work down here, but we'll get into that. 1108 I got one put, and then got another one 1109, so 69 cents and then 63 cents. We got one here when that thing wicked, or maybe it was towards that orange, thinking orange would be my stop. We'll get another one. I kind of forgot I even got this trade. That's awesome. Closed the first one for 72 cents at 1114. Yeah, this price action just kind of sucked. It was just grinding down. Closed this one because it broke my orange, and yeah, I wanted to just take some profit. I had 2 of them. And so far this price action was actually pretty slow and sketch, because pretty large candles but not like going very far. I don't know. Okay, second one was for 88 cents, so quite a bit more. I was at 1118 right here. Yep. So I was planning on, I was like, all right, I'm gonna close it at green potentially, or this purple down here. Made this big wick. I'm like, all right, I'll just wait for it to break orange. So that's where I close it right here. Basically right at the beginning of that. This would have been a better exit, of course, and I don't know if I had purple yet. Seeing it on purple, of course, it makes even more sense, but still you want to let it give it, you know, let it go all you can. So waiting for it to break orange is, you know, because it could have easily come down here, or just kept going and come down here. Would have been pretty sad. So anyways, that's where I'm saying lack of continuation today. Like most of today was a chop, really. There's nice trades or whatever, but you didn't really have continuation stuff until, to me, like the last hour, half hour, whatever that is, 2 hours. But yeah, so that trade wasn't bad though. That brought me back quite a bit. Because all those other ones I was pretty red on. All losses, but too many of them. And then another 9-10 cent loss. They're kind of getting the picture here. Is basically, if I'm gonna get stopped out, it's gonna be 10 cents. So if I'm doing 3 to 1, I'm gonna be break even on the day if I have 3 to 1 and I have 33% accuracy. So I need to increase my accuracy. Not trade as much. Either be early and risky entries as I have, scared entries, or just be patient and wait. So this one I did both. I was late and then got it on time. And then this, I just didn't even see this. So anyways, 1127 to 1128 puts. This was a red trade. Oh yeah, this one. This one was just with this one. Oh yeah, I started grinding. This was annoying. Kind of annoying stuff going on today. Yeah, so broke green, and this is a retest. I didn't have gold here. I'm just thinking it's kind of dancing around below green before it flushes. And then I put gold in. I'm like, this thing is selling in gold. What's going on? So that's when I basically got out of it. because it wasn't selling the more aggressive algo, which is all I wanted to be a part of. So that was a 71 cents to 61 cents, 11.27, 11.28. And thankfully I had that in because it didn't make me FOMO or jump into any of this head and shoulder structure, because I saw that risk to reward's not there with this gold right here. So I was waiting for it to break this in this channel, and then I was going to catch it on a retrace and hope that it broke through this. Otherwise that would be a pretty tight move also. Next one was, I can't believe I forgot to close that other one. I'm gonna look at it. That's our bonus. 11:48. Yeah, see, I just ran a buying power before noon even. That's bad. 11:48 right here. What did I get? I gotta put, I think I'm trying to catch, yeah, I'm trying to catch a retracement or a head. Gotta put here for the top of gold, trying to do the same thing here. Closed it out, next candle, 31 cents to 23, closed it out on that candle. Yeah, that's when it broke the upside there, but really just wedged, wedge. This trapped me later in the day too on the big account. I had calls, and I just sat through all this grind and disgust, and then finally closed it. Retracement, lots of retracements. This trade could have been a good one, breaking green right here. Problem is it broke green there, and then I think actually I caught that also. Stopped out. I don't know if I caught this one later in the day. And then I stepped away. I had to go get do something else. And I missed this nice, like, perfect setup right here. I think I missed it. Maybe I can't remember. I'm not going to review the big trades, but came down, built liquidity on green, and at this point I had blue also, and then perfectly retested 20-day or with that head, little head and shoulders here for that break, and did it again with green here, broke it, retested it as a resistance, sold down, and then it just got ugly down here. I definitely got a little trap down here, I think, as you can see. And then after all that, it was actually, this was the support. You have it here, it comes down, is doing it, and then it breaks through, and then you realize, okay, it's just selling in gold. But it's not actually on the support, it's just building liquidity right through it, right through my line. Yeah. And then this retrace, which I didn't catch this. I don't know. With my charting, it would have been, I guess, a break on this gold. Yeah, I wasn't anxious enough to do something like that. This gold wasn't here either at this point, or this purple, which is a nice indicator. Yeah, so competing algos today, of course, with this tapering purple and then the tapering green pretty much all day. Or not taper, yeah, I guess it'd be tapering. You'd call it tapering. But bulls controlling this buying, bears controlling this selling, and just back and forth, and the bulls won. So if not breaking this gold, I would say my old strategy, just identifying liquidity here as a shoulder and taking it on the break. So having this be my stop, taking calls here. It's kind of a rough way to do it, but it can work. It just doesn't always work. In this case, of course, it would have worked great. But nice little head and shoulders up here. Problem was for me, broke my purple right here. Sorry about that. Broke purple, and so I thought it was outside, but I think I actually did catch that on the big account. You know what? Yeah, I jumped in late. I was early for the next one, late for the first one. I jumped in somewhere around here on a little retrace because I'm like, nice little head and shoulders. It's like, I'll use gold or whatever for my stop. Or no, actually, I think I used this one. I was like, yeah, if it breaks this, I'll just close it out easy. Broke it, closed it out, and then it just grinds and just builds a little, consolidates here a little bit in purple, and then just flushes. And I didn't want to chase it, but this was actually a nice trade. The problem was, again, it was if this head was right here below purple and the VWAP, it would have been much easier for me. The fact that it was above that, just I wasn't sure if it was still in this wedge, because it kind of closed the cup in a sense too. I don't know. Yeah, I was thinking this could be a handle coming down. And then yes, so many different resistances here. On the way back up, it was like kind of grindy and choppy until finally right here it broke, and I kind of traded it all through here But it was tight little scalps because, again, all these little resistances that we kind of kept coming up to, I'd have to protect and practice a little risk management. And then this was the last one, and I closed one, and then it kind of came down. I closed another one. I'm like, well, I'll just take profits. It was pretty nice. I think it was a break of this purple just a little bit. I wasn't getting him on the support here, which I could have on this one. I considered it. I'm like, I'm just not too comfortable with that at this point. But I could have gotten it here on the support. But anyways, got it up here, and then my last one, I think I put a break even on it, and one of these wicks just got it, and then I was distracted with something else, and this broke out of the purple. Would have been a little bit of a chase, but yeah, I was clearly building liquidity nicely with the purple after all day of basically just big chop. So yeah, and actually I even caught a trade here in the final. I think it was like break even. It was calls here, close some, and stopped out of last one. And for the bonus, here's a small account. It is a red day. It's about as red as I was green yesterday, I think. 26. I'm not too sad about it though, honestly. I feel pretty good about the trading. Confidence is still high. Today's price action was, again, you had to be just patient or very quick. You know what I mean? Just on it or patient for the retrace or the next setup. And that's kind of maybe indicative of a lot of zoomy trades or retracement trades. And if you see this one, it's open-ended. So 1149, let's look at that. 1149, I got a call. I had no buying power, so I just kept moving my strike out until I could actually buy it. And so it ended up with a strike of 1149? I got a strike of 683, which was at that point way out of the money. So it was only 6 cents. And let me show you this. I got it right here. Did I get it there? Oh, 1149. Oh yeah, I got it up here. I got quite bullish here. This is when I actually also opened up my my spread. Opened up the put credit spread on Webull on this candle. I got the call there on that one, the small account, which you saw. Opened a put credit spread and it retested here. It got kind of sketchy in here. I held on. Big account also, I got calls here because I was pretty bullish for a retracement after it broke that gold. And it did. It worked. It's just sent me for a little drawdown here first. It came all the way up here. I checked the small account at that 6 cent contract. That thing hadn't moved at all. I would actually have lost a cent if I tried to exit here, which it makes sense. It was far out of the money. My spread, I closed one. It did this huge move. I closed another one. And then it did this huge move. And right here, I closed out of the rest. I had 4 of them. And it ended up still being a green trade. And that's the beauty of selling premium or doing credit spreads or selling puts or selling calls. Is just the time decay in that I was still able to make it a green trade. Very small green trade on a Webull account. I think it was $2. It's at one point I was up like 80 or $100 up here if I just closed them all, but I didn't want to. I thought 20-day was nice support. So, you know, I saw this tapering. I thought this would probably be it. So, but I did reduce some risk here and here, and that's why I was able to afford being a green trade, even though I closed it here. So, anyways, little head and shoulders there on that green. I don't think I caught that. It was exhausting today, the trading. Tiring. But what I wanted to look at, let's look on Webull. Let me see if this thing did anything. I haven't looked. I'm very curious. So it's nice. You can look up the chart. Let's see if it ever did anything. I don't think it. Oh my gosh. It went up a couple pennies. Okay. Here. Wow, Webull. Wow. Great job. Here is that contract. I got it for what? Meaning of this. Is this the right one? No, it was a 683. It wasn't even a 682. What? 683. This is very difficult with split screens. We'll see. Is ripped off on this thing. I paid 6 cents for this. All right, at 11. Where did I get it? 1149. Yeah, so it's basically as cheap as it's gonna get. I mean, of course, it's gonna go to 0, but So all in here is 6 cents. I paid for it in here. Did it? No, it never went up, even with that whole move. Yep, that's why you got to pick the right strikes. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money, sticks around. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Peace out.